Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Love of Biology. I am Madhuri. Today we are going to learn about electron transport chain of the respiration. So in plants and animals, if they are prokaryotes, it takes place in the cytoplasm. If it is a eukaryotic cell, it takes place in the mitochondria. So here you can see the inner mitochondrial membrane, it will takes place. So inner membrane space and matrix you can see here. So inside this membrane the complexes are present which helps in the transport of electrons. So there are few types of electrons. Before that, let us see the mitochondrial structure. So here if you see the mitochondria, which membrane is divided into outer and the in between them intermembrane space is present. So inner membrane, inside that it will takes place and the space, and inside that we are calling it as a matrix where F0 F1 complexes present. So this is the structure of mitochondria where this electron transport chain takes place. So five complexes, these are enzyme complexes with electron carriers are present. Those are complex 1 which contains NADH dehydrogenase enzyme, complex 2 FAD dehydrogenase enzyme it contains, complex 3 cytochrome B it contains, which contains a heme group, it is also containing the enzyme, complex 4 cytochrome A and A3 are present, and the last complex is ATP synthetase or oxysomes are present. All these together will transport the electrons and protons from the Krebs cycle and the glycolysis reaction. So here you can see the electron transport chain. Used electrons and protons from Krebs cycle glycolysis will be transported in this. So here you can see the complex 1 where NADH is reducing to the NAD, which will release protons and electrons. Electrons are transported to the coenzyme Q, which is an carrier, and it is pumping. Due to this energy, they are pumping the protons into the space. Electrons are transporting to the carrier quinone, right? So next complex 2 is the smallest one, so which synthesizes or reduces the FADH molecule, so and releases here also protons and electrons, and it transports electrons to the quinone. Quinone transports electrons and protons to the cytochrome C, that is the complex 3. So these protons will be pumped into the space again, and electrons only carried to the next one, that is a carrier in between the third and fourth complex, that is cytochrome C. It does not accept the protons, it accepts only electrons. So protons are pumped into the space where the proton gradient will increases in the space region. So electrons which are carried to the complex 4. Complex 4 contains cytochrome A and A3. Actually, this is the final acceptor of the electrons. So towards the matrix, you can see the final acceptor, that is the oxygen is present, molecular oxygen, which will accept these electrons and protons from the complex 5 to synthesize or to produce a molecular water molecule here. So protons they are accepting from the complex 5, nothing but ATP synthetase 1. So protons which are collected in intermembrane space, so they now accepted by which complex, that is a complex 5, it will accept the protons from the space and it will pump those to the matrix region. This complex 5 is the ATP synthetase enzyme. ATP synthetase, it is made up of two complexes, two components actually. So those are F0 and F1 particles. F0 is a proton channel and F1 is a catalytic site which will synthesize the ATP and undergo conformational change. So protons from the space accepting by the F0 particle will reach the F1 particle to synthesize ATP molecule. These F0 and F1 particles together we are calling them as oxysomes. So after synthesizing the ATP molecule, protons which are released into the matrix are accepting by the molecular oxygen, final acceptor of the electrons. So in this way the electron transportation will takes place after breaking down of the one glucose molecule. So how many ATP they will produce? Total 36 ATP they will produce. Along with the ATP, water molecule is also produced. So one glucose will produce a 36 ATP, our energy currency in the matrix. So this electron chain will transport electrons by using the energy. After transporting the electrons, the protons will be pumped into the space which are accepting by the ATP synthesis and synthesize the ATP. Thank you for watching.